Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today again I'm here with a new topic of the chapter planning, that is types of plans. So let's start with our topic types of plans. Based on the usage and length of the planning period, the plans can be classified into two categories, that is standing use plans and single use plans. As the name suggests, standing use plans are those plans which can be made once but they remain as standing. They can be used repeatedly over and over again. And the other name, that is single use plans, it suggests here also the name tells that these are the plans which can be used only for a single time, which means that these plans are those plans which can be used only to meet a particular situation. Then we have standing use plans has five types: objectives, policies, rules, procedures, strategies. On the other hand, single use plans has only two types: budgets and programs. If we see our management, the management has to do planning at three levels, that is strategic planning, departmental planning, and operational planning. The strategic planning is concerned with the long term objectives of the organization, and it is always done by top level management. The departmental planning is always done by the middle level managers at middle level management. The operational planning is done by the supervisors, inspectors, foremen at lower level in order to carry on the activities of the organization. Then who prepares the standing use plans? I have already told you standing use plans are made by the top level managers of the organization, and single use plans generally they are prepared by the lower level managers of the organization. Plans can be divided into two types on the basis of the use and length of the planning period. A standing plan is that plan which is used for activities that occur regularly over a period of time. So these plans are also known as repeated use plans. It generally focuses on those situations which occur over and over again. So these plans are usually developed once, but they can be modified from time to time to meet the requirements of the बिजनेस विच मीन्स कि ये प्लान एक बार बनाए जाते हैं पर बार बार इन हम प्लान्स को यूज़ कर सकते हैं, इसीलिए इन प्लान्स को क्या बोलते हैं, स्टैंडिंग यूज़ प्लान्स बोलते हैं. तो स्टैंडिंग यूज़ प्लान के अंदर क्या क्या आएगा? इट इंक्लूड्स पॉलिसीज, प्रोसीजर्स, मेथड्स एंड रूल्स. सेकेंड टाइप ऑफ प्लान्स आर सिंगल यूज़ प्लान्स. नाम से ही आपको पता लग रहा है, दीज आर द प्लान्स which are developed for a one-time event or a one-time project. Such a course of action is not likely to be repeated in future, which means that these plans are made for non-recurring situations. जैसे इस प्लान का पर्पस सर्व हो जाएगा उसी वक्त इस प्लान का काम भी खत्म हो जाएगा. Then what is the duration of these plans? These plans duration depends on the type of the project which we want to carry on. It may be for a day, it may be for a week, it may be for a month or for a few months. पर जैसे ही वो प्रोजेक्ट जिसके लिए हमने ये सिंगल यूज़ प्लान बनाया है वो प्रोजेक्ट पूरा हो गया, साथ ही साथ उसका पर्पस भी ख़त्म हो जाएगा. सो इट कैन बी made for a day or for a week, for a month or for few months. But these plans can be made and used only once. बार बार इन प्लान्स को हम यूज़ नहीं करते और हर टाइम हर बार नई सिचुएशन को मीट आउट करने के लिए हम नया प्लान बनाएंगे. जैसे कि हम बजट बनाते हैं. वी कैन नॉट गो ऑन विद द सेम बजट एवरी ईयर. हर साल हमें नया बजट बनाना पड़ता है. सो दैट वे इट इज़ ए सिंगल यूज प्लान. Then we will do all types of plans in detail. Single use plans, standing use plans, and those plans which are neither single use nor standing use. Under single use, we have two types of plans, that is programs and budgets. Under standing use, we have four types of plans, policies, procedures, rules, method. And we have two plans which are neither single use nor standing use because they can be modified according to the situations. Although they come under the category of standing use plans, but there is a possibility of modification in those plans. So that's why we don't put it under single use or standing use plans. So let's do these types of plans in detail. First one is objective. Objectives are the goals or ends which an organization strives to achieve. All the activities of an organization will be directed towards the objectives. Objectives tell us what is to be done. They are prerequisite, they are very important for planning. And objectives should never be vague, they should always be expressed in specific and quantitative terms, or you can say they should be expressed in terms of figures. Objectives are always result oriented. In objectives, we always strive for achieving a particular objective. It tells us the desired state of affairs where an organization wants to reach. And it is always formed by top level management. And while deciding objectives, we should consider this fact that objectives should always be smart. They should always be specific. They should always be measurable. They should always be achievable. They should always be relevant. They should always be time bound. Then we take few examples. For example, an organization may have an objective of increase in sales by 10%. Or you can say an organization may have an objective of increasing the profit by 10%. So here it is expressed in quantitative term. So it is our objective. And all the activities of the organization will be done, will be carried on according to the objectives. Then we move to second type of plan, which is neither a standing use nor a single use plan. The second type of plan here is strategy. So first of all, what is a strategy? Strategy can be defined as a detailed and comprehensive plan in order to achieve our organizational objectives. It is a comprehensive plan which tells us various steps for achieving, for accomplishing our organizational objective. If we have a business objective but we don't have a strategy, then it is very difficult to achieve those objectives. In strategy, we have to focus on three aspects. The first aspect is we have to focus on long-term objectives. Then, in order to achieve those objectives, we have to adopt a particular course of action. Then, in order to adopt that particular course of action, we have to allocate necessary resources. So, strategies are also always formulated by top level management, and in strategy, we always carry on the SWOT analysis. We try to scan the business environment and make necessary changes in our plans according to the environmental changes. So all the strategic decisions, they are to be taken by the top level management, and in it always considers the changes in business environment. For example, objective of a company is to increase its profits by 10%. To achieve this objective, the company may adopt these strategies like create and launch new products or models, or introduce new distribution channels like online sale, or select few newer advertisement medias like internet marketing, etc. So here, in order to achieve our objective, it is trying to adopt a particular course of action, and it is trying to take the best decision which will help it in achieving its objective. So in strategy, we have to always take care of competitors plus business environment changes also. Then we take the third type of plan which comes under the standing use plans category. It is policy. So let's understand what a policy is. Policies are the general guidelines for action. These are the guidelines which bring uniformity in decisions in order to achieve predetermined objectives. A policy is a set of ideas or plans that is used as a basis for making decisions, especially in politics, economics, or business. An official organization policy on a particular issue or towards a country is their attitude or actions regarding that issue or country. So here we mean to say that policies are general guidelines for action. It is a way of organization, how the organization handles certain problems. Policies are made at every level because at every level managers have to decide how they will handle particular situation. So they act as a general guidelines on the basis of which all the employees take their decision. So most important policies, they can be framed by the top level management, and routine decisions can be left to the middle level management also. For example, if we see recruitment policy, then sales policy, then how to purchase raw material, on what terms and conditions, these all are known as policy matters. In schools also, we have our admission policy, we have examination policy. Fine. So these all are known as policies which are regarding the routine matters. For example, a businessman have a policy not to make any sale on credit. Like we were doing, chain stores are carrying on these type of policies. Then we have next type of plan, that is procedure. So what is a procedure? I'm sure that all of you might have heard this word in your 9th and 10th while carrying on science experiment. Yes, you are thinking it right. Procedure means a series of steps. The procedure means it is a series of steps taken together to achieve a desired result. They are always specified in a chronological order. It is a particular way of doing a particular job. It tells us the manner, the method in which the work is to be performed. Procedures are always very rigid. They are to be followed as itself, and there should be no possibility of any kind of deviation. The procedures tell us the various steps which must be taken in a particular order in order to carry on any task. For example, if we have a procedure for selection of employees, then we may follow the procedure. First of all, we will give an advertisement. Then we will call the candidates for a preliminary screening. Then we may conduct a written test. Then there may be a interview. After the interview, then there can be a medical test, and finally the job may be offered to the employees. So this is the procedure for selection of employees. Same way, there can be procedure for admission in a school also. All of you know there is a specific procedure for getting admission in Kendriya Vidyalayas also. Fine, so we have to follow those norms and all the steps have to be followed. Next type of plan with us is methods. So what is a method? Method means a particular way of doing a particular task. And what will be that way? It will be the best way. Fine. So method is a systematic way of doing routine or repetitive jobs. It is a way how we carry on a particular activity. It tells us the standardized and formalized way of doing a particular work. In it, the organization tells us clearly how a particular task is to be performed. But don't confuse it with procedure. Procedure tells us all the steps which should be followed step by step, which should be followed in a chronological order in order to complete a task. But method tells how each step is to be performed, by what way this step is to be performed. So selection of proper method, it always saves our time, money, efforts, energy, and hence it increases in efficiency of employees also. So it increases the efficiency of employees, and it also tells the employees what method they have to follow so that employees have a clear idea about how they are to do a particular task. There should be no doubt in the minds of the employees. Like F.W. Taylor also told, there is always one best method to complete a particular task. For example, methods of valuation of stock, methods of production, methods of depreciation, methods of training. In it, last year you have done methods of calculating depreciation. So there are various methods, like there is straight line method, there is diminishing balance method, there is depletion method, there is annuity method. Then which method we should follow while preparing our accounts? That is told by the method type of plan. So next type of plan is rules. What are rules? Rules are specific guidelines. These are the specific statements which tells what should or what should not be done in specific situations. Rules always tell us about actions or non-actions of employees, and there is no deviation allowed in any kind of rules. Rules are very rigid. Rules are to be very strictly followed. Rules are made so that there is proper discipline in the organization. And if we violate any kind of rules, then punishment is always there. It means if a person does not follow the rules, strict action is taken against those employees. The rules are basically made so that all the employees work in a disciplined manner in the organization. For example, no smoking can be a rule, no admission without permission, using mobile phone during office hours is prohibited for personal usage. So all these are examples of rules. So in rules, no kind of deviation is allowed. Rules tell employees how they have to behave at the workplace. Next type of plan here is program. So these come under the category of single use plans. So let's understand what are programs. Programs are detailed statements about a project. They are a combination of policies, procedures, rules, tasks, human resources, physical resources, and budgets. So all these plans, that is objective, policies, procedures, and rules, in order to achieve a particular target, that becomes a program. The programs are made in an organization in order to achieve a particular goal. They ensure systematic working in the organization. Programs can also be prepared at different levels. A main program, primary program, will always be prepared by the top level management. Then, supportive programs will be prepared by the middle level management and lower level management in order to accomplish the work. For example, construction of a shopping mall. Yeah, programs for opening new departments in our business, that may be part of a program. The main purpose of program is it ensures systematic working in an organization. It is a detailed statement about a project. And in program we try to prepare minute details about procedures, rules, budgets within the broad policy framework of the organization. And once we have accomplished that target, once we have constructed that shopping mall, the purpose of that plan is also over. That's why it is known as a single use plan. Last type of plan is budget is also a single use plan. We always have to make a new budget every year. So let's understand what is a budget. A budget is a recorded plan of action expressed in quantitative terms. In budget we try to prepare the expected results statement which is expressed in numerical terms. It may be in terms of time, it may be in terms of money, it may be in terms of units. So budgets are used both for planning as well as for controlling. Budgets always involves forecasting about the future. That's why it comes under planning. Actually, budget is a controlling device because budget give us expected statement where we want to reach. Then we have to compare these expectations with our actual figures. After that, we try to find out the deviations by comparing the budgeted statement with the actual figures. And after finding out deviations, we have tried to find the reasons for those deviations. And finally, corrective action is taken if it is required at that very time. So जो budgets हैं, this act both as a planning and a controlling device. Budgets can be for expenditure, it can be a sales budget, it can be a cash budget, it can be a family's expenses budget, it can be a monthly budget. So budgets always come under the single use plan because once we prepare a budget for a particular year, it cannot be used in the next year. In next year, again, we have to make some new forecasts. So in business, we have to prepare budget for various activities. We can prepare our sales budget, we can prepare our expenditure budget, we can prepare our cash budget for knowing about cash inflows and outflows and so on. The budgets can be prepared by managers at every level. The main financial budget is prepared by the top level management with the help of the middle level management, and operational budgets can be prepared by the lower level management. So budgets also help us in taking the follow-up action of planning. Whether the plans which we have adopted, the targets which we have decided, after implementing the plans, whether we are able to achieve those targets or not. So these all were the various types of plans which we had discussed here. I hope you all might have understood the topic. Thank you and have a nice day.